Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is the Sunday Sliding Show for Gambler's Edge. It's a little bit of NFL Week 15 picks for you. We're going to break them down and tell you how they should go. We're going to try something a little different this time. We're going to try to pick every game. Every game. I've tried that before, and this is DaProfit. First game now, most people, I'm sure that's the head of them, and we're trying to get everywhere today. And all connected to hooks up, and we're ready to do this now. Alright guys, I missed y'all the last couple of weeks if you've been on social media. We're still doing our 1480 Dog Radio. Also 95.3 Atlanta. Having a good time. Let's see what we can do with these NFL picks, guys. Get ready. All right, we're going to kick it off. The very first game being Kansas City at Baltimore. That's Kansas City at Baltimore. Actual line on the game is Kansas City -6. Playing at Baltimore. Over-under's 41. All right. This game should go pretty much chalk. All right. If you look at Baltimore on paper, they're really nowhere near as bad as the record. They're 13th in offense and the 15th ranked defense. What is killing Baltimore is this -12 in the turnover department. All right, -12. That's huge. I mean, that's just astronomical. And then on the other hand, Kansas City's +12, which is like second in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a game, like I said, it should pretty much run chalk. Kansas City averages winning by about 6.5 points. Baltimore averages losing by about 4 points. Baltimore's got home field. I'm going to take Kansas City straight up, Baltimore to cover the spread. Kansas City straight up, Baltimore to cover 6.5. I'm going to go over. Kansas City straight up, over in Baltimore against the spread. All right. Number 2, we're going to go to Houston at Indianapolis. This is Houston, Indianapolis. On paper, this should be a blowout. I'll be honest with you. other than points per game. Houston gives up about 2.5 more points a game than what they score. They score right at 20, 19.86, something like that, something crazy like that. And Indianapolis scores about 21. So theoretically, Indianapolis should score the 20 points, you know, but they give up 27.5 right at it. And Houston scores about 22, so theoretically, Houston should win the game straight up and cover the spread. We're going to take Houston straight up and cover the spread. We're going with the under 42.5. Atlanta at Jacksonville. This is who can be worse. Actually, on paper, Jacksonville and Atlanta, neither one are bad teams. Atlanta's got like the 7th ranked offense in the NFL this year, and you wouldn't know it by the record, of course, especially after getting blown out like they did last week at Carolina, but they're going against a team with a 21st ranked defense that gives up about 28 points a game. Atlanta scores right at 22, so theoretically, Atlanta should score about 24, 23, 29, 23.5, 24 points, you know. But, and, boy, it's a tough one, but I'm going to take Jacksonville at home, minus the 2.5, and we are going under 51. Jacksonville at home, minus 2.5, under 51. Trying to make these as quick as possible, guys. I got several NFL shows we have to do today, and do a shout out for one of our sponsors real quick. That's Cons Home Plus. Cons Home Plus, stores all across America. You can apply online for credit at mobilecons.com / Yes Money. Or you could call 1-877-472-5422. That's 1-877-472-5422. Also, Vivint Home Security. Call today for your next day installation. That's 1-877-606-6413. 1-877-606-6413. Next, we're going to do Chicago at Minnesota. Chicago and Minnesota. Chicago scores about 21 points a game. Minnesota 19. It's a low-scoring affair on paper. Over and under is 42.5 for this game. Minnesota doesn't give up a lot of points either. You know, Chicago, on the other hand, gives up about 5 more points than what they score. Yardage, they're both right there. Minnesota's just got a bad offense. Here is a side stat of the day, guys. Side stat of the day. 5 straight games, Adrian Peterson ran for over 100 yards against the Chicago Bears. 5 straight games. Does he make it 6? I think so. We got Minnesota winning the game outright but not covering the 7. Minnesota winning outright but not covering the 7. Over 43. And Chicago covering 7 points. Over the 43. All right. Tennessee at New England. Straight up, we're going to take New England, needless to say. New England's got the second largest average margin of victory in the NFL right now behind Carolina. They played a lot tougher schedule in Carolina, though. And then that's not just on paper, that's fact. That's a fact. They played a lot tougher schedule in Carolina now. I'm pulling for Carolina because, you know, I'm right down here, not too far from them, so I'm hoping they pull this perfect season off. We're getting ready to touch on their game in the next couple of minutes as well. Tennessee and New England. New England's got the 3rd highest ranked scoring offense. They got the 3rd yardage offense. They also got the 6th ranked defense in the NFL, going against the 28th ranked offense. Well, I can see why they're minus 13. We're going to take New England to cover the 13. We're going to over 46. New England to cover the 13 and over 46. I do see Tennessee possibly scoring 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, something like that. And 2 touchdowns, like 17. I can see like a New England wins 38-17. Okay, let's go back and touch on the first 4 games. We're going to have Kansas City and Baltimore. I can see Kansas City winning this game. 28-23. 28-23. Houston, Indianapolis. Houston and Indianapolis. Our prediction will be Houston 21. Indianapolis 17. Houston 21, Indianapolis 17. Atlanta and Jacksonville. We took it Jacksonville and the under. All right. I'm going to say Jacksonville 26. Atlanta 21. That's pushing the envelope on that over-under, but I can see it happening. Minnesota and Chicago. We're going to go with Minnesota. (28). Chicago 24. That's 28-24 Minnesota. Next up, we got Carolina at the Giants. Where the Giants have been the most successful team against undefeated teams this late in the season ever. You know, they stopped the Broncos in '98 from going undefeated. They also are the ones that put that halt to New England's undefeated season in 07-08 with Tyree's miraculous catch. And I'm sure Harrison still wants to shoot herself in the foot over that deal. Okay, Carolina has the largest average margin of victory in the league. Largest average margin of victory in the league. You got to bet 200 to win 100 on Carolina today, and I do not see them not covering this game, guys. I see it going over. Jackson, they just don't have the defense that it's going to take to slow this Carolina attack down. You're talking about the worst defense in the league. Gives up almost 420 yards a game, 25.5 points. Carolina was the top scoring offense in the league at 31.5 points. And then you got the Giants score, okay, and they are a plus 10 in the turnover ratio. Carolina's a plus 18. Something's got to give. I can see Eli getting picked off 2, maybe 3 times today. That's 2, maybe 3 times. You heard it here first. We're going to take the Giants not to cover. It's going to be final score. We got Carolina 37, Giants 20. That's Carolina 37, Giants 20. Buffalo and Washington. Let's see, Buffalo and Washington. This is a game that, don't have a lot of interest. Buffalo really isn't that bad a team on paper either. They give up about 3.5 more yards a game than what they gain. They actually score a little over a point a game on average is the spread difference, whereas Washington's a -2. The spread in this game is Washington plus 4.5. Okay. Over and under 44. That's if you look at on paperwork, they're as close as they can get on this line. But we're going to take Washington to cover. Actually, win the game straight up. Washington 24, Buffalo 20. Washington 24, Buffalo 20. We're calling a push on the over-under, guys. Calling a push on the over-under. Next is going to be Green Bay and Oakland to start off our 4 o'clock games. We're going to take Oakland to cover the 5 points. Oakland plus 5. Green Bay, when they come to town today, I think it's going to get a little bit of a shock. On paper, Green Bay is not as good as their record is. They're 18th in offense, 18th in defense. They average about 24 points a game, but they don't give up a lot of points. They only give up about 19, a little over 19. Okay. Oakland is about even on points scored and points gave up. They're a little bit under on the yardage. 25th ranked defense at 372 yards a game, whereas Green Bay's averages about 350 on the ground, per game herself. So this is a back and forth game, and with the home field advantage going toward Oakland, I'm going to take Oakland not to win the game, but to cover the 5.5 points. I'm going to take Green Bay 27, Oakland 24. That's Green Bay 27, Oakland 24. Cleveland at Seattle. Well, Seattle's the biggest favorite of the weekend. They're favored by a little over 2 touchdowns in this game. Well, depending on where you look, some odds makers have them as low as 12.5. Some have them as high as 17. BetDSI.com right now has them at 14. BetUS.com has them at 14. Bovada has them at 14, if I'm not mistaken. And there's several others out there, but that's the more respectable of the bunch, as far as online gaming goes. If you bet 100, you win 800 if Cleveland wins this game straight up. Guys, listen. On paper, Seattle is one of the top teams in football, bar none. Disregard the record. When you go to looking at the statistics, it's them, Arizona, New England, and everybody else. And I know you're thinking, where's the perfect team, Carolina? Well, Carolina's got the defense, but offensively they're 11th. They got the 3rd-ranked defense, whereas you look at Seattle's got the 5th-ranked offense, the 2nd-ranked defense. Arizona's got the 1st-ranked offense. and the 4th ranked defense. I mean, these are guys that are putting it up there on both sides of the ball consistently, and they don't have a big plus-minus ratio. Carolina's got that plus 18, which, man, that is just astronomical. It's astronomical. It's almost 1.5, fumbles or interceptions a game, turnovers more per game than the opponent. And that's converting into quite a few points. It has to be when you look at the 11th ranked offense. Cam is having a phenomenal year. And is right now my MVP of the league, without question. He's no doubt about it. He's my MVP of the league, with Tom Brady a close second and Roethlisberger coming on for third. Big Ben is really doing something out there in Pittsburgh. I'm very impressed, and we're going to get to his game here in a bit. But like I said, right now we are trying to get this Cleveland and Seattle. Let's be honest, guys. If we're going to play Cleveland and Seattle, I've got to go Johnny Manziel covering the 14 points today. You heard me. Johnny Manziel covers. That's our upset pick of the day. Johnny Manziel covers the 14 points with a final score of Seattle 31, Cleveland 21. That's Seattle 31, Cleveland 21. Here we go. It's that high-powered offense of Pittsburgh versus the number 1 defense in the league of Denver. Pittsburgh is a plus 4 on the year turnover margin. Denver's dead on the money even. All right. Here's an interesting stat. Since the entrance of Brock Osweiler, Denver leads the NFL in 3 and outs. Well, and they don't convert a whole lot of 4th downs either. Their percentage on converting 4th downs isn't that high. The percentage on converting 3rd downs is a third. They convert 1 out of every 3 of them. That's it. So they're going to have to really. They're right at 50% of the time they get the ball. They're 3 and out since Osweiler's come in. So these rumors I keep hearing about, Manning's going to stay on the bench. Don't kid yourself, guys. He'll be back just as soon as they're ready for him to be back. They got it figured. They're going to coast on into these playoffs, but they better wake up, because there's a team behind them called Kansas City that's coming. That is coming, guys. I mean, they're bringing it. They did what they've done with a minus, and minus yardage, but they really turned it around, and the turnovers is what really helps Kansas City. Plus, they got the 8th ranked defense in the NFL. But they're coming. That 24th ranked offense out there in Denver, man, has. When is the last time you could have went into an NFL season and said, well, Peyton Manning's team had a 24th ranked offense? Oh, hell, the 10th ranked offense in the NFL, much less the 24th. It wasn't that bad originally. Since Osweiler, it has gotten worse. They're averaging about 21 points a game. They only give up 17, so they're a plus 4 there. Pittsburgh's averaging right at 27, and they only give up 20, so they're a plus 7. Pittsburgh's got home field advantage. We're going to take Pittsburgh to cover, Pittsburgh to cover the 6 points at 38-10. 38-10. Biggest blowout of the weekend, I feel like. Guys, I really do. I think it's maybe the biggest blowout of the weekend. Next up, we got Miami at San Diego. What should be San Diego's last game down there, and I've seen some pretty good games, some good stars come through there. LaDainian Tomlinson, Junior Seau, Dan Fouts, man, we go on and on. Lance Allworth, let's just keep going. We could just keep going on and on, Air Cordell was, man, they were a beast back in the day, and I never will forget them playing Cincinnati in Cincinnati. It was so damn cold out there that year to go to the Super Bowl, and I believe that was in 80 or 81, if I'm not mistaken, and that was a hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. One of the first games I remember as a kid. I was like 6, 7 years old, and I really got into that game because my dad was a huge fan of Fouts. Well, I was just a kid wanting to pull against my dad, so I was pulling for Cincinnati. And then he was pulling for Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. I pulled for San Francisco. And, San Francisco and Cincinnati's had two good Super Bowls, really. I mean, they played each other twice in the Super Bowl, and they've had some pretty good games. I mean, there ain't a whole lot of teams that's played each other twice. You look, San Francisco, Cincinnati's done it twice. Pittsburgh, Dallas done it twice. Dallas, Buffalo's done it twice. But that's, you know, that's about it. Giants, just, I don't believe, wait a minute, I think they have played New England twice, haven't they? Don't quote me on that, guys. I'm not positive. But it seems like they have. We're at Pittsburgh. In Denver, we got 38-10. San Diego, Miami. San Diego's -1 in this game. And on paper, San Diego ain't that bad. They got the 9th ranked offense. You know, but they only score 20 points a game, and I can't understand that. I mean, actually, it ain't even quite that. It's like 19.2, 19.3, somewhere in there. So that's what Miami scores. So now we got an even game, theoretically. San Diego's turnovers killed them. You know, they average more yards than they give up, but average margin of defeat is 6.5 points. They score 6.5 to 7 points a game less than what their opponent, but average more yards. That'll leave you scratching your head, you know. But it's that -7 in the turnover department that's killing them. We're going to take San Diego to cover the last time. Old Jack Murphy Stadium. Let's see. San Diego 21. Miami 17. That's San Diego 21, Miami 17. San Diego is a -1 in that game. Cincy, San Fran. A.J. McCarron cutting his teeth at Levi Stadium. Okay, now you want to talk about on paper. It don't get no worse than what the San Francisco 49ers are, guys. It just don't get no worse. They got the 32nd ranked offense, the 30th ranked defense. That's last and second from last. Okay? Their average margin of defeat is over 10 points. This is astronomical. They give up exactly what Cincinnati scores pretty much. So we're going to say this game runs chalk, even with A.J. McCarron in the game. We're going to take Cincinnati to cover the 6 points at San Francisco just because they're San Francisco. Cincinnati wins 28-10. Cincinnati 28, San Francisco 10. Last but not least for today, we got Arizona at Philly. Woo, boy, here's that top-ranked offense of Arizona. The number 1 ranked offense in the NFL, 417.5 yards a game. Okay? They score 31.2. The only person scores anymore is Carolina. New England's the close third at 30.9. They don't give up a whole lot of points either, guys. I mean, first-ranked offense, fourth-ranked defense. Like I said earlier, it's New England, Seattle, Arizona. Those three are bunched together. And if you think I'm joking, let's break it down and look at it for a second. Arizona's got the number 1 ranked offense and the number 4 ranked defense. That's the number 1 ranked offense. Average yardage difference is 95 yards a game, which accounts to 4.75 to 5 points by itself. All right, and it's on right at 6 points. Actually, it's 5 point. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. 5.62. It's right at 6 points. What the difference is. Next, you break down here and you look at Seattle, 2nd ranked defense, 5th ranked offense. That don't explain their record very well, but it's the truth. I mean, that's just how it is. New England, well, number 3 ranked offense, number 6 ranked defense. I mean, you see what I'm saying? These guys all 3 of these teams are in the top 6 of every category. you can think of. They're there. Now, and what gets me about New England is it's Tom and Gronk and whoever else they can throw in the mix, because you take his whole offensive line, take his half his receiving, take all his receivers away, give him Gronk, and how in the hell does this guy keep getting open, man? When he's the only one on the field that is going to get the ball. Average attempts per game toward Gronk while he is in there is right at 10 targets. Only person averaging more is Beckham. So that's, I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't understand it. Linebacker and short, safety over the top. This guy should never be wide open like he is most of the time. I mean, I've seen him open by 5, 6, 7 yards and then wonder, what are y'all doing? Hey guys, what are you doing? I'm not a New England fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. Everybody knows that about me. I love Dallas. Always will. That's just how it is. Carolina is got the 3rd ranked defense in the league, but the 11th ranked offense. Yardage wise, they're 50-something more yards per game, whereas like New England's all 70-something. Arizona, 80, almost 95. Sorry, I don't know why I said 80. You got Seattle is 75. That's what I'm saying. And those yards, believe it or not, they make a difference. They make a difference in field position. Is where these yards start making a big difference. And it's when bookies attribute numbers and they figure lines, 10 yards is worth 0.56 points. That's 0.56 points. So I know you're thinking 100 yards ought to be a touchdown. Well, that's not theoretically how they do it. But it is worth 5.67 points per 100 yards. All right. So in itself, those 3 teams that I mentioned a minute ago, Arizona, New England, Seattle, right off the bat, these guys start off with 4.8 to 5.5 more points than you do. It's like it's 5.5 to 0 when you start the game. Now, if for some reason a team like New England has home field advantage day, which is another 3.5, 5.5, well, they're 9-point favorites. It don't matter what you figure in, what else you add to it. Right off the bat, they're 9-point favorites. Okay? A team like Arizona today, going to Philadelphia against the 27th or 29th ranked defense in the league, and they got the number 1 offense, Well, guys, look, they're already at 5.5 plus. That home field, you can take it off at 2.5. And then add it back when you go to the yardage calculations and point calculations. I mean, they are to be favored by 9.5 points. Is what Arizona ought to be favored by, is 9.5 points. Spread is actually 3.5. I like Arizona and the under. That's Arizona and the under, and this under is my play of the day. 52.5 points, no way. Not when you've got the 4th ranked defense giving up less than 18 points a game, guys. They're right there with Denver. I mean, they're right there with Denver on points allowed. Now, I just don't see it going over 50 total score, but I do see Arizona covering the 6, like I said. I mean, the 3.5, like I said. I see Arizona winning 31-14. Arizona win 31-14. Time to stop Philly's roll. Did we miss a game? For some reason I feel like we met Buffalo and Washington. We got 24-20 favor of Washington. So if my projection's right, the NFC least should be in favor of Washington after today, and I do believe they're going to win that division. That's my prediction from here. Because I just think they're an all-around better team right now, and that's kind of funny, but they're more balanced, they're more evenly paced, let's say. It's just, Philly, 17th ranked offense, 30th ranked defense almost, or 16-29. Giants were they like the 12th, 13th ranked offense. Worst defense in the damn league is the Giants. Whereas Washington's dead in the middle almost on everything. You know, pretty even kill. And when they're at home, they're a good team. They play a lot better at home than they have anywhere. The Cowboys went up there and beat them a couple weeks ago, which was, I think, our last hurrah. We'd have played Kellen Moore a lot more. He looked pretty decent last night, and I actually liked him. We got a break, guys, and I got a caller coming in here in just a few minutes. We want to give away our free iPhone for today, and we're going to cut it loose here in a second. Hey everybody, this is DaProfit here, reminding you to call Dish Network today. That's right, call Dish Network today at 1-844-217-7174. Mention this code, that's GIFT50, for your free Visa gift card with activation. That's right, get a free hopper for the whole home, free premium movie channels, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Stars, and free HD for life, starting as low as $19.99 a month. Call Dish Network today at 1-844-217-7174. Why? Because DaProfit said so. That's why. A little pat myself on the back. We had another great day at picking and predicting fights. We had Andy Lee winning. He did. The only one that got me was Walters and that draw, and I think that was a pure robbery. Pure robbery. Guy connects on over 50% of his power punches and loses to a guy that connects on less than 25%. And Sosa was more active. He was a lot more active. But, man, we can't miss numbers like that. That's just too far off for the judges. We hit all of our UFC card fights. We even predicted Diaz. So, good day on the fight game yesterday. I think it was 5-0-1, the draw with Walters, which is straight robbery to me. And that'll do it, guys. And don't forget to listen to Fight Serve's top 20 pound for pound all-time list coming next week. We also have the top 10 pound for pound fighters coming this week, active fighters. And that'll be all, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.